gamble on the weather.
So I just watch. Wow.
The sun is shining, I can feel on the horizon. Won't keep getting wider, I just don't ever wanna, oh no, no.
Hey.
Well, these are my...
What's up? How's it going? Today we're going to talk about Mac Miller, swimming, and the announcement of his follow-up album, Circles, which I was so happy about. If you didn't see it yesterday on social media, his mom, Karen Myers, who has been kind of managing or like making any announcements on his behalf post-death, she announced that they're going to be having a new album called Circles. And if you were familiar, Swimming, beautiful album. I was kind of like a casual fan of him until he passed away, and I listened to his whole discography. Incredible. And this album, Swimming, is amazing. And the fact that it's a double album, and then kind of looking back on it and seeing kind of some of the connections that it's going to have a follow-up is just kind of like amazing. Apparently it was mostly completed before he passed away, which is great because, you know, sometimes you have these artists who die and they finish an album pretty much just trying to pull together what they can for finances and things like that because for like a money grab. But in terms of her, I mean, she was also an architect or a photographer too, and understood, you know, the feeling of his fans who were just like really upset about it. So he has the whole concept was supposed to be swimming in circles. And I was going back and looking at a few things and just, I listened to the album, it was just on before. I just kind of felt that this album, the Swimming, didn't really have like a closure, and it just felt, 2009, it ended in 2009, and so it goes, just like there wasn't a lot of closure, and it felt like something else was supposed to be there. And this album is supposed to be kind of like an opposite musical style that complements it. And he was kind of a fashionista dude too. He had a lot of the yin yang, so I thought this was kind of cool that this album would be a yin and a yang to each other. And I'm so excited to hear it come out on the 17th. And then I just wanted to like go back and look at some symbolism that you can see. The back. This is the back of the record, Swimming in Circles. And then if you go look at his hat, he has that yin yang hat on his store, and it's swimming in a circle around. So I just can't wait for this to come out. If you haven't listened to this album, I think it's one of the best rap albums ever. And it's not even really a rap album. It's definitely a hip hop album. And just a lot of the symbolism too, like, he is, if you saw his video, Self-Care, which is the main one, he's kind of breaking out of the coffin, and kind of and it has a lot to do with like his living with his demons and drug use. But also the cover I love, like he has dirty feet, which is kind of, there's a couple symbolisms there of like kind of going through your life, like connected to the ground, or like you're, or even kind of like connected to the earth. And then also in Catholicism and other religions too, it's kind of like man of the people, and then you have your feet washed, which is kind of like when you have your feet washed, you're kind of being forgiven or renewed, where his feet are still dirty. He's laying in a coffin, which assume is above, flying through the air. Wonder, the art, I think, is him. I'll put it up, he's got kind of like his third eye, which is, that's kind of one of the things he's into. And I hope when this album comes out, I think if this becomes if it is as good as Swimming, or even better, like, it will kind of cement his legacy as one of the best artists of the generation. And I think that in terms of people who passed away, I think this was kind of, if you look on the internet, his fans are so rabid and they love him so much. Like, if you want a nice place on the internet, just go to Mac Miller comments section or message boards. It's It's the only place on the internet that people don't talk shit to each other, which is kind of amazing. And it was another thing that I thought was, this album ended up being number 3 on the charts, Swimming. He was actually nominated for, I think, rap or hip hop album of the year, and he lost to Cardi B. Come on, give me a break. Are you freaking serious? I just think he never kind of got respect that he deserved, and even just like when he died, like his songs like weren't really on the radio, which is kind of like crazy. He's Warner Brother Music. He had a number 1, 2, 3, 4 album in his career. I think Blue Slide Park was number 1, and then if they actually changed some of the qualifications to go platinum and whatever, number 1 album, and they're now incorporating YouTube views. So if you think about YouTube views, he's probably one of the most listened to artists, period. I mean, I think that, not period, but of the generation, even up with like Rihanna, Cardi B, things like that. And also one thing I think that people forget about Mac Miller, he was one of the first artists to kind of capture social media in a way and understood the internet in a way that other artists didn't. For instance, like if you see, he kind of hacked the internet. And another artist who does this is Riff Raff, is they make songs about people who are already searching, like Donald Trump. He made a song about Donald Trump, become one of his biggest songs. And it's just, he encapsulated, and he's kind of part of the Donald Trump into hip hop vibe. And even yesterday when his mom announced this, it's so weird. Like he was trending on Twitter. I think he peaked at like 2 or 3, but he had by far the most tweets of the day, like 34,000. But for some reason, he was barely stayed up there, and they never gave him number 1, which makes me so freaking angry. But I think that, once let's see what happens when this album comes out. I think that if this ends up being as good or better than Swimming, I think he's going to be one of the best albums of all time. Let's hope. I'm like already taking off for work for that. So if you haven't listened to it, go listen to Swimming. It's amazing. And then I'll actually probably do some more videos on his other albums. But if you go through all his albums, like Best Day Ever, there's very much more like his progression as an artist is just kind of crazy to see. Like Best Day Ever, kind of like frat rap, high school stuff. You forget that he was like 16 or whatever when he made that album. And then moving along into things like Faces, which was one of my favorites, was actually like a mixtape where he just put out for free, I'm pretty sure, on that Piff. Amazing album, Faces. And then when he went to Warner Brothers, watching movies with the sound off, amazing. Divine Feminine, amazing. And then Swimming, which is just like, I think he was like his peak. It's just like sad to see how much he was transitioning and where he was going. And I also think his story is also kind of definitive of like a generation too. Like, so I guess he was born in 92, right? So the new Instagram that they want to have moving forward is 92 to infinity. But it kind of encapsulated like growing up in the internet age, dealing with fame. You can see, I don't know any other artist who's been documented transitioning and growing up as much as he did. I think there's a lot that had to do with the timing of YouTube and social media, but also just being a raw talent. And also he, like I was saying, he hacked the internet with a lot of his songs, Nike on My Shoes. And he was just a really smart dude. And also he understood the social media aspect and entertainment aspect of his like artistry. So I'm really excited to see how this album turns out. And in a week, I guess when it comes out, I'll listen to it and give a little review. That's pretty much it from me. I'll talk to you later. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts, comments about Mac Miller or the upcoming album Circles, let me know. Enjoy. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me online, Marcus Amadeus. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. That's one.